if there's one comment that we get on so many of our videos, it's that no bourbon is worth more than $60. Now, everybody's personal opinion is going to vary there, and we don't hold that opinion because we've had some really good stuff that costs a little bit more than that. We've been fortunate enough to try a lot of things over the course of this channel. However, today we are going to put a list together of if we were limiting ourselves to $60 and we were only going to buy a few bottles, what would we buy? These are the 6 bottles that we would purchase $60 or less.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh, and we started this channel just to hang out, share some pours together, talk about topics with you. That's what we're here to do. So we're going to talk about today's topic and whatever other stuff comes up as we go. And we'll get right into this.
Let's do it.
As we've said, this is a list of 6 bottles, $60 or less. There is one caveat in here. There's like a...
You always do a caveat or like an honorable mention.
It's not really an asterisk, but you'll see what I say. It'll be the last bottle that we talk about.
Okay.
This is based on 5 years of blind tastings on the channel, and we have skewed the results of this to things that we've tasted blind more recently that have performed favorably. Because some of the things that we used to like, some of those products have kind of changed over the years. So some people are going to be like, oh, rare breed, of course. Rare breed's not in this list because...
Shocker if you're a longtime viewer of the channel.
I know. So things have kind of,
evolved.
Things evolve. Maybe our palates are changing, but it sure seems like the whiskey tastes a little different these days. But we're going to talk about it. And we have, for us both, we tend to think of whiskey in terms of use case.
Yeah.
So when it comes to bourbon, we're usually drinking based on a mood, like no different than sometimes if I were drinking sodas, sometimes I drink a Coca-Cola, sometimes I drink a Sprite. If I were having food, sometimes...
I don't think I've ever seen you drink Sprite.
There's times when I like Sprite. I don't drink a lot of soda, though. But sometimes you want a hamburger, sometimes you want pizza. It's a mood thing. So
Fair.
Let's go ahead and start off.
Sometimes you want Thai food, sometimes you want Thai food.
If you're Erin, yeah.
If you're me.
We're going to start off with what I would consider to be just a right over home plate, classic Kentucky bourbon profile.
Yeah.
Really hard to beat this bottle for $30 to $35 in most markets. And I should say that price is going to differ for everyone in your market.
Also, we should say we have one of these bottles, not that one, in our glass right now, and we'll talk about it once we get to it.
We will. Knob Creek 9-year. It's a classic. It is a staple. It is one of the seemingly unchanging bourbons as we've dealt with other profiles from other distilleries kind of drifting over time. Knob Creek seems to have this really dialed in. Very, very consistent. Very good bottle of whiskey for $30, $35. Tastes like classic Kentucky bourbon. Caramel, vanilla, oak. Little bit of like peanut butteriness in there. Kind of a crunchy peanut butter vibe. Great. 100 proof.
Yeah.
$30, $35. You can't go wrong. I used to get Knob Creek in my old fashions like 15, 20 years ago when I wanted to have a bougier old fashioned.
When you wanted like a pinkies up old fashioned?
Yeah, when I wanted to be a little fancy. So,
fancy boy.
Can't go wrong with Knob Creek. If you haven't tried it, you should. If you're newer to bourbon and you haven't bought a bottle yet, just buy one. It's a classic for a reason.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, it goes great in cocktails as well. Speaking of going great in cocktails, it's always good to have a utility bourbon that can work well as a mixer. You can
100%.
You can mix it in with ginger ale, with tea, with soda. You can put it in cocktails, and you want something that's going to stand up to those. And we would have typically said Wild Turkey 101, but Old Grandad Bonded is just better nowadays.
These days, lately.
So we have in front of us 2 Jim Beam products. Jim Beam.
That's unusual because you are notoriously not a Jim Beam fan.
I know. Here's the thing. As whiskey keeps changing, as the market keeps changing, as more distilleries are seemingly, and this is speculative, so we don't know, we don't have any insider knowledge, speculatively, there are talks in the space that potentially some of these distilleries that are releasing higher end limited edition products that are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars and very difficult to find, maybe they're pulling some of the stocks that used to go in some of their core lower proof or lower price offerings, and those are being pushed towards the premier products, and then the lower proof offerings or the lower price offerings are becoming less good as a result because it's getting younger and younger whiskey in it.
Oh, interesting. thought process.
I don't know if
there.
that's true, but it sure tastes like it from some of our favorite distilleries. Jim Beam is not suffering this problem because not a lot of people are going goo goo gaga over a ton of their whiskey anyways. So their bottom shelf stuff or their lower proof, lower price offerings tend to be holding very consistent. Old Grandad Bonded is like $20. 100 proof, goes great in cocktails, good enough that you can drink it by itself.
That's key. It needs to be able to be enjoyed by itself and also good in cocktails.
Yeah.
For me anyway.
You can throw it over ice if you just want to sip something like that. It's been in head-to-heads with Wild Turkey 101 and beat it for us recently. So,
yeah.
Old Grandad Bonded, great bottle. Again, caramel vanilla oak, but this is a higher rye bourbon. And what comes through with that is just a little bit more tingle on the tongue. I think you get a little bit more of this citrusy profile, like a little that makes it go really well in things like old fashions and Manhattans.
Yeah.
And it's really good for that. So $20, significantly cheaper than Knob Creek 9-year, doesn't have the age, still a very, very good bourbon. And you can get a 1.75 liter handle for next to nothing. And it's even cheaper that way.
There you go.
All right. Next up.
What's next?
There are times in my life where I want just a sweet, easy, low-proof sipper that I just don't even really have to think very much about or worry about. I call them like background whiskeys, background bourbons.
Yep, you do.
Good back porch sippers, hot summer days. You can enjoy them over ice. And we're in the heat of the summer, and I've actually been drinking lower proof bourbon over ice more than ever, really.
Which is interesting because, like, rewind to like a couple years ago, you were like, I never drink anything on ice. Ice ruins things. But it's situational and it's mood dependent. And I think that's what you found out is like when it's super hot, it's been very hot this summer for us where we live. And when it's 90 degrees outside and humid as all get out, you want whiskey, but like room temp whiskey just doesn't hit like ice cold whiskey does.
Look, I like stouts and porters when it comes to beer.
Yeah.
But when you've been doing yard work or work outside in the heat and everything, nothing hits quite like a crispy boy. You know, like a light beer right out of the fridge, ice cold. You know, it's different things for different moods.
Yep.
Most of the time when I'm having whiskey, it's at the end of the night. It's just a single glass, and I want something that has a little bit more to unpack. But sometimes you just want the light beer of whiskey. And that's Buffalo Trace all day long.
Yep.
It's fruity sweet. It's kind of got like a little bit of like an appley sweetness to me. Caramel apple type vibes to Buffalo Trace.
Is this what we had last night?
Yes.
Over ice?
Yep.
Yep, that was good.
You just can't beat it. I mean, over ice, it just kind of tastes like bourbon flavored water that's cold.
But it was good. Like, it was enjoyable.
Good. Yeah. And to me, honestly, this is our choice because this is a list that I'm factoring both of our ratings into. If it were me, I have been enjoying Weller Special Reserve even more, but it's more expensive, harder to find, and Aaron doesn't like wheated bourbon, so I did not include this.
Yeah.
But if you can get Weller Special Reserve, that kind of fits right here where Buffalo Trace does.
Yeah.
If you can't get Weller Special Reserve, Buffalo Trace makes Weller Special Reserve, and they kind of taste pretty similar.
But not wheated.
Not wheated. Buffalo Trace actually is much better to drink neat for me. But if I'm going to put it on ice, either one of them is more than serviceable. So Buffalo Trace, great bottle.
What's next?
Next up, sometimes you want something that's got a little bit more punch and pop.
I like it when your southern accent pops out and you just sometimes
you just want a little more punch and pop. And all of these are good, and you're even getting some age with Knob Creek 9-year. But when companies work with barrels and do a little extra something, you can get a little bit more punch and pop. And that's where Cooper's Craft Barrel Reserve comes in. Now, this does lean more towards like the sweet, fruity vanilla side, kind of away from we got 2 caramel heavy pours here. We got 2 fruit forward pours here.
I think that's well-rounded, though.
Yep.
You kind of have like a little darker, lighter.
You got your caramel apple here. Here you've got a little bit more. I mean, sometimes I get like some like strawberry nerd type vibes out of this with like a little bit of like the strawberry, like the red and yellow nerds or like the strawberry.
I think yeah.
Yeah, like strawberry, cherry,
they do
vanilla,
like a
lemonade
strawberry
type vibes.
lemonade or something.
Yeah, but this they char and chisel the barrel so that it gets more interaction with the wood. Now, it doesn't have the age of the Knob Creek, but 35 right now. Everything on the table we said under $60 was the category.
Yeah.
Everything on the table is less than $35.
And granted, this is market dependent, but they don't vary a ton. These don't vary a ton, I don't think.
And look, there's a reason why. Like I just thought like $60. I see that so much in the comments. I thought in my mind, okay, if I'm grabbing 5 or 6 bottles under $60, what are the bottles I'm grabbing?
So far, they're under 40
to drink. These are those. Like there's nothing more. Maybe here they had a Knob Creek Blenders edition that was like 106 proof, which was more sweet and awesome, and that's $45. But it's a limited release. These are going to be evergreen staples. Now, Cooper's Craft isn't available in every market. That is true. It is not discontinued. Lots of rumors about that.
Oh,
That's
really?
not true. But if you can't get it in your market, maybe I would recommend trying to find a community that's really good, that maybe you can have some people that are near you, maybe in another market, help you find a bottle and
procure it.
Yeah, procure it and get it into your hands. We happen to have a great community of people who are willing to help other people. So if you want to check that out, you can do so through our video description below. Check out the Patreon, get plugged into the Discord tier. If you let somebody know you're looking for a bottle of Cooper's Craft, maybe you just want to try a sample, or maybe you're looking for a whole bottle, I'm sure somebody lives near you that would be able to help you out. We have a very, very helpful community over there.
Yeah.
That's also where we release our barrel picks. We just got back from Buffalo Trace recently, picking a Blanton single barrel. We've picked Knob Creek single barrels, and some of the bottles that are coming up, we have picked single barrels of as well. Single barrels are our favorite things. They're not oftentimes under $60, but we have had some picks that have been under $60. So check that out down there. Or you can just, for as little as $1 a month, get some behind the scenes content, some extra live streams and all that good stuff. So check that out.
Okay, what's next?
Next up, and this is going to be what we have in our glass.
You're running out of room.
Yep. So this is what we have in our glass right now. This is honestly taking the place of Rare Breed, because we really like Rare Breed, or have in the past, and it's just been letting us down.
Yeah, it's been really sad to watch it fall from grace for me. Like, it still kind of hurts my heart.
Tasting this still hangs though.
Yeah.
This still hits, and it is New Riff single barrel bourbon. Now,
it's single barrel.
it is a single barrel, so that means that
Every barrel is different.
Yep. So it's going to taste different. And they do a good job of putting some notes on the side. Like they'll tell you what to expect. Those are just a suggestion, much like our own tasting notes over here. But they do a really good job with their bourbon specifically. It's getting older. They have an 8-year release out now that's really good. And there's the single barrels. I have had some strange ones, but even if they weren't my favorite, they were still really cool to try that profile.
Fair.
There was one that tasted like smoked bologna, like a log of smoked bologna.
Did I try that one?
That was, yeah, you did. That was a really strange single barrel, and it was a group pick from a group that we know, and they love that profile. But most of them are, especially the New Riff single barrels that they release to stores, those are most of the time pretty classic profiles that have a little variation. I mean, some of these go maple syrupy, some of them go log cabiny.
What would you say the one in our glass right now does?
This specific bottle has gone maple syrup log cabin for us, but we tasted this before the video, and you're like, oh, it tastes like cinnamon sticks. And I agree. It's got that cinnamon sticky kind of clovey baking spice, which is kind of what Rare Breed does really well.
Yeah.
You know?
Kind of,
yeah, this is just really enjoyable. Love New Riff stuff. $55 or less
55.
in most markets. So
55.
now we're pushing up closer to that $60 mark.
It is the tallest one, so you got to pay for that glass.
Pay for that,
you
yeah.
know?
Even though they're all 750 milliliters, somehow this is taller, so it for sure has more glass in it.
Absolutely.
It's just science.
It's-
I'm not a doctor, but everybody knows that. And then the last bottle on the list, and here's my asterisk, okay?
Okay.
We've done so good on price.
That one's going to tip over $60, isn't it?
It starts with a 6. in our market.
Josh,
It's $63.99 in our market.
Okay, so in some markets it might be under 60.
If it's over 60 in your market and you're dead set on keeping it under 60, you can get a 375 milliliter for $33. Okay? So at your discretion. Also, some people would say that this is not bourbon. Those people would be wrong. This is bourbon, but it also goes through what they call the Lincoln County process, where they charcoal mellow the distillate before they put it in a barrel. And it is none other than Jack Daniel's single barrel proof Tennessee whiskey,
which
is bourbon.
Tennessee whiskey falls in the category of bourbon. It has gone through an additional step to make it even more specific, but it is still under the umbrella of a bourbon.
Yes.
Which bourbon is under the umbrella of a whiskey. Yeah. For you newbies. I'm sure most of you aren't new, but...
Exactly. We love this stuff. Again, it is a single barrel like the new Riff. It is going to differ. This is what we like. We've been into whiskey for so long that we have some utility bottles like these down here, which are going to always be stocked. Like we're running low on the Knob Creek. We'll buy another one when that runs out. I don't reach for it a ton, but it's always good to have around. These are, on any given night, if I'm going to have a pour of something, I'm going to probably go grab a single barrel, whether it be a pick that we did ourselves. Again, in the video description below, you can get those through Patreon. And whether it's a local store pick or whether it's just a on-the-shelf single barrel release, that's cool to try something new. Do the proofs vary widely on these single barrels? No, because the entry proof, like for what they put the distillate in the barrel at, is always the same. So with Jack Daniel's, it's 125 proof. With New Riff, I'm not sure. I think it might be 110. But most of these are kind of high 10-something to low 1-teens. Okay. Whereas the Jack Daniel's is always going to be in the like 120s to maybe just a slightly north of 130 proof. Okay. Big proof. Also, this goes really well on ice. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof Tennessee whiskey. It's somehow ice just unlocks this crazy vanilla note on this that just, it's there, neat, but boy, oh boy, does it really amplify with ice. It's also really fun to put in cocktails if you want to make a really high proof cocktail. It's fruit forward. Some of these can be like banana pudding and Nilla wafers. Yeah. Some of them can be like chocolate chip banana bars. Some of them can be have like this black walnutty type of note that I really like. Yeah. Some can go banana bready. A lot of them go banana bready, and I really love that. If you can get that kind of banana bread, brown sugar going on in these, it is so, so good. So this is our list. Yep. Would love to know which 6 you would pick if you had to limit yourself to 6 bottles under $60. Try to keep them available to shelf products. We did try to do that. I guess the one exception might be the Cooper's Craft because it's not going to be in every market. And I honestly don't know the kind of distribution that New Riff has, although now I feel like it should be pretty good everywhere. Yeah. But potentially. Overall, this would be our picks. And this is like having a channel for 5 years and being into whiskey for myself 20 years, Aaron 10 years, from just like casually sipping. Yeah. These are the bottles that we have reviewed well, even in blind tastings, and that we would reach for ourselves. Yep, absolutely. Thank you guys for watching our video today. Be good to each other. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Be good to each other. And drink good whiskey. Yeah. And bye. Cheers. Cheers. And email us at stuffandwhiskey if you want to get involved in raising money for a good cause. Okay. Email us at stuffandwhiskey@gmail.com. That's it. At Gmail. At gmail.com. If you would like to be involved in our charity fundraiser coming up this October, we raise money for mental health. So far, over the past 5 years we've done this, this community has raised over $100,000 for mental health. So we're doing it again. Yep. We need bottle donations to help drive the charity, the bidding. Yeah. So if you're interested in donating a bottle, email us at stuffandwhiskey@gmail.com. Yep. Set the bottle aside, and we will coordinate with you on what to do. Yep, absolutely. Yep. Okay. Cheers. Bye. That was a good list. I like it. I like it a lot.